Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is a show where I like to review movies, TV shows, animes, comic books that all deal with the BL drama. Or BL genre is what I meant to say. How did that even happen? Let's ignore that. Should I slate and start again? This episode is going to actually be focusing on a manga. It is called Tea for Two, and it is by Yaya Sakuragi. Now, there are four novels in total, but I'm actually only going to be focusing on the first novel. Reason why? I want everyone to hear about the first novel and then hopefully go ahead and get the rest of the novels as well. Get all of them. It is an amazing story. Well, it is a slice of life story. So I will say, if you're not as much into the slice of life, you may not find it as interesting as I do. It is a comedy romance, and it does have a lot of nostalgia for me because this is actually the first BL manga I ever purchased. It is how long? It's 12 years old. I purchased it in 2008. Yeah, I was just walking through a store. Was it 2008 or 2000? One of the two, 2008, 2009. That's when I purchased it. But I was just walking through a store and I saw it and I was like, this looks awesome. Now, it is a blue manga book. Now, I don't believe is Blue Manga Publishing even still a thing? That's something I need to research because I don't think the website is up anymore, because I know it was available on the website. I don't believe the website is up anymore, but it is available on Amazon because Amazon has everything. If you're out of TP in your area, Amazon probably has it. It's probably the TP that people bought up in the area they're selling on there, but that's about a different situation. We're looking at a more lighthearted situation, the world of BL. Now, of course, because it's a blue manga, it does have a parental advisory. It does have some explicit content. It is rated M for mature, so I would not recommend this for all eyes. I do think, especially younger BL readers should not read this. I would never recommend it for the younger BL readers, but the mature BL readers, this is the book. I have it in front of me because I want to make sure I'm giving you all of the story and kind of looking through and just going like, oh yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, that happened. But yeah, this is definitely for mature audiences. It's not very graphic, I will say. It's not like extremely graphic, especially since one of the reasons is rated M for mature is because there is mild violence. The fighting scenes, there are a couple of fighting scenes, they're very minor. You don't even really see them. It's mostly one page each fighting scene. The reason why, I have no idea. I don't know, maybe the author just didn't like writing fighting scenes. Anyway, let's jump into the story, let you know what the story is about. So, Tea for Two actually follows two high school students, Takumaru and Hasune. So, Takumaru kind of got dragged by his sister into joining the tea ceremony club because she's kind of just tired of him always breaking her stuff. They do have a close relationship. They're a very loving brother and sister. One of the things he does is he watches his favorite TV shows in her room, but because of how careless he can be, he will end up breaking things in her room. So she forces him to join the tea ceremony club with her, where he is going to learn some poise, learn to be a little bit more mature, and learn to respect other people's belongings. So he joins because I think he's afraid of her, because it turns out she actually studies karate as well. She does martial arts as well. So I think he mostly joins because he's afraid of her. But it does say later on that he's actually good at fighting himself. So it makes me kind of want to see a fight between them more and more and more. Is it that he's actually afraid of her, or because she is his loving sister, he would never hurt her? And I am straying off topic. So the president of the club is Hasune. Hasune's family actually, they are involved in traditional tea ceremonies, and they've actually donated a lot of items to the school's club for the tea ceremony, activities that they have. It's a very big deal for him. Everything about tea ceremonies is a very big deal for him because of how involved his family is, and also because he seems to remember, I'm only reviewing the first book, so I'm trying to focus on everything in the first book, especially since I don't remember everything from the other few books. It's been a couple of years, but he does seem to have a real attachment to his grandfather. His grandfather was also very involved in tea ceremonies. Like the bowl that he uses for tea was his grandfather's bowl. So he's very attached to his grandfather. Now, Takumaru and Hasune, even though they are so different, they do eventually fall in love. Hasune is very mature and adult-like and doesn't really know how to relax and have fun, while Takumaru is just very wild and very childlike and just acts on his emotions. They kind of level each other out because Hasune, of course, needs to learn to act more like a child, and Takumaru needs to grow up a little bit. Now, them falling in love was actually really cute. What I liked about it is how Takumaru basically realized himself, oh, I think I'm in love with this guy. Because he found himself having this hard decision. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. He found himself in this hard decision spot area where he had to choose between baseball, playing sports, which is something he's really good at because he's very athletic, and staying in the tea ceremony club. And a friend basically had to point out to him, like, you just get up and leave clubs all the time. Why can't you leave this club? And that's when he realized, oh, I can't leave the club because I'm scared that if I leave the club, I'll never see Hasune again. And that really was his fear. He wanted to be able to spend more time with Hasune. And that was like his admission. Like, I realized I had a hard time leaving the club because I love you. And then like right after they had a romantic evening, that was code. Right after the romantic evening, it was, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave the club and join baseball. And Hasune was like, well, yeah, I expected you to. That's more your forte than this. But they still have this close connection. They still, of course, love each other very much. And it's very cute. It's very sweet. Like I said, I love slice of life. So I actually really like the pacing of their relationship. It's about, 2 chapters in before we actually see their relationship blossom into more than this will they, won't they? Were they. Another character we're introduced to is a kind of family friend of Hasune called Keigo. Keigo's family actually runs a sweet shop, it looks like, and he now runs the sweet shop, and he actually provides sweets for the tea ceremony club. What's awesome as well is this book actually includes 2 little side stories, and one of the side stories is actually about Keigo and a senior of his from high school named Mizuki, who he has had a crush on for a long time, but he never made a move on because Mizuki is a kept lad. He has a nice older woman taking care of him. Definitely read that to see how that goes. And there's actually also a little side story on Kotoko, who is actually Hasune's younger sister. Kotoko is a martial artist. She's actually met Nagomi. Nagomi is Takumaru's sister. She's met her in the ring before, and they've kind of become rivals. And what's adorable about Kotoko's storyline, because she gets a little side story as well, everyone sees her as this poised girl who's very athletic, very gifted, and she's intelligent, and no one notices, or she doesn't feel like she actually can show that she sometimes just wants to be very girly, but she can't act very girly like how she sees other girls being able to just be themselves and not worrying, because everyone has this view of her. So of course you can expect, as the novels go on, we get to learn more of why Kotoko and Hasune are both so mature beyond their years and what's expected of them in their families and stuff like that. But definitely I love those 2 side stories as well. Another thing that I actually really love about this novel, there is actually a note from the author in the novel. It is so cute. I love the little note. Basically, the note was just letting everyone know they don't know much about tea ceremonies. They just had a friend who used to be in a tea ceremony club and asked for some details to put in there. And I thought that was adorable. That's really cute. Love that. And what I love is basically the author is saying, hey, it's okay to laugh at me if I got some stuff wrong. And I guess because I'm not familiar with Japanese culture and the Japanese tea culture, I just went with whatever they said. If they said that's what this is called, that's what that is called. I agree with you because I don't know. But it is kind of obvious when you get to the parts where Takumaru is playing baseball that they definitely are more familiar with baseball culture. They use a lot of baseball references, which for me, that was really hard because I'm not familiar with baseball culture. I did not grow up in a home that was all baseball. So I was just like, okay, cool, baseball. It's funny, I actually know more about curling than I do about baseball, but enough about me. But yeah, they definitely are. You can see that they're more familiar with baseball terms, and they start throwing baseball terms in there out of nowhere in the first book. It's actually adorable to me. I guess let's talk about some really cute scenes between Takumaru and Hasane. They actually have a scene because, like I said, Takumaru is very athletic. He's also pretty good at fighting. There is a whole thing about where his friend mentions that he can basically hold his own in a fight. Now, he was discussing with his friend about the tea ceremony club and the fact that Hasane's family donates like some really expensive items to the tea ceremony club. Some nefarious characters in his classroom who are supposedly also high school students who look like they're like 25 overhear this, and we can tell they're the bad boys, decide to go and steal items from the tea ceremony club so that they can sell it and make money. They actually end up stealing something that is actually very precious to Hasane, and because of that, Takumaru goes after them, and Hasane's trying to stop him. They're like, it's 3 of them, you can't do this. He's like, I got this. And he defeats all 3 off camera. Well, he doesn't defeat them off camera fully. We see him take 1 down, and the other 2 are like, oh my god, no. And he gets it back for Hasane. And, we kind of see that he might enjoy a little bit of the fight. He says it makes him feel very manly. And we do get a scene where Hasane shows that he's a little manly too. And even though Hasane has said he's not very confident in his fighting abilities, Takumaru liked it. Like, yeah, you held your own there. And Hasane's like, I don't think I did a good job. You did perfect. It was awesome. It was hot. That was really adorable. Now, I should rate this out of 10, shouldn't I? Well, I feel like me rating out of 10 is really hard because I have so much nostalgia to this. Like I said, I've had this since 2008. It is like my very, very first BL comic that I purchased. I just read everything online before that. So Tea for Two, Volume 1 by Yaya Sakuragi. Out of 10, 9.5. I don't like giving anything a 10, so don't ever expect anything to be given a 10 here. So I think 9.5 is the closest you'll ever get to a 10. Why I like it so much, I actually really do enjoy the art style. I don't know what this art style is called. I'm not an artist. But I really enjoy the art style. I really enjoy the storyline because I don't like things that are filled to the brim with drama. A lot of people might like the turn here and the backstabbing here and stuff like that. But in the first novel, it is just a very simple love story. There's like a little twists and turns thrown in there, but it's not too harsh, honestly. Like, you can tell, even with the twists and turns, you're like, and they will end up together, and they will end up together. And I like that. I like stories that just have a happy ending, because I like happy endings. What would I say about reading it? Should you read it? Definitely. I think this is actually a really good introductory BL comic to people who are still trying to figure out what in the BL drama, the BL genre, why do I keep doing that? The BL genre that they really like, because there's so many different types. Just like any type of manga, anime, movies, there's different types of BLs within that. It's just a subgenre. So, you might find that you want the more like crime driven one. You might want something more paranormal, or you might be like me, you just want something slice of life, something you're like, yeah, that could totally happen. And T for Two is that. T for Two is very realistic for the most part. I definitely 100% recommend it for newer BL readers. Remember, it does have an M rating, so I recommend it for mature readers. I'm just really sad that Blue Manga website is gone. Maybe I should check again. Maybe I just entered everything incorrectly. But like I said, it's available on Amazon. I double checked it, like triple checked it. Like, is it on Amazon? It is on Amazon. So you can definitely check it out on Amazon. Keep in mind, the contents of T for Two may be hot. That's actually something that's on the book. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not going to be reviewing the rest of the mangas. I believe I already mentioned that. The reason why, like I said, I want you guys to hopefully read this first one, because this is just an introduction. T for Two, book 1 by Yaya Sakuragi. Read the first one, and I hope you love it enough that you want to read the rest of them. Okay? So, read it. Okay, so, tell me what you think. Have you read T for Two? Did you like it? How did you feel about it? You can post a comment on Time for BL, which is my Instagram. You can also send me a message on anchor.fm/timeforbl. If you have any suggestions on any manga, anime, movie, anything, as long as it has BL content, just let me know. I definitely want to check it out. The whole point of this podcast is to introduce new titles, and maybe you'll introduce some new titles to me. I'd love to hear them. I will say you're probably going to get a lot of Thai BL dramas right now from me. Now, that's not because I prefer Thai BL over anything else. I am open to BL from any country around the globe. I've probably seen BL from every country around the globe. I'm thinking about it. I've watched too much BL. I might have watched too much BL in my life. Who cares? But yeah, the reason why, though, you might see a lot of Thai BL posts on here and on my Instagram especially, is because right now in Thailand, because they've realized they can make so much money from Boys Love, they are just pushing out show after show after show after show. GMM TV is like big on this. I'm tempted to kind of go into some of the dynamics of that, because there's an elephant in the room that needs to be addressed as far as the reality of being a part of the LGBTQIA community in Thailand and being a part of the LGBTQIA community in Thailand media. Because there's a difference, and I don't think I should really speak on it because I don't live in Thailand. I just watch too much Thai TV, apparently. But that, I might end up bringing that up when I come talk about a couple of the shows, when I get to more Thai Boys Love shows, or Thai Boys Love books, because I read, oh gosh, I forgot the name of it. How did I forget the name? I forgot the name because I haven't seen it in that long. But I'll bring it up. But it was made into a TV show as well, and I actually read the book before I watched the show. Loved the book. Loved the show. It had a happy ending. It was actually, I think, the first Thai show with a gay romantic storyline that had a happy ending. And I'm sure as the second I said that, somebody's gonna be like, I know which one that was, because I am killing Fun and No. Oh my god, those were the two main characters. Why can't I remember the name of their show? And I just said that, so somebody's going to get it. Somebody will definitely get it. And I'm just going to like Google afterwards and go, oh, stupid. But yeah, I will definitely be covering a lot of Thai BL dramas, mainly because of that. I have a lot more manga on my bookshelf, so I will be covering those as well. And I also have manhwa, BL manhwa from South Korea. Uncultured people who don't know. So I'll be covering some of those as well. And also webtoons. Who can forget webtoons? It makes it easy, and it's free to access webcomics on there. They're not even paying me. I'm just giving them free advertising, and they probably don't need it. But anyway, check out Webtoons has a lot of free BL on there, so that's something you can definitely check out. Easily accessible, a lot cleaner. They actually make it a lot cleaner because it's free and so easily accessible. And I actually don't mind that. I know some authors, they are kind of ticked off about it, but we have to keep in mind that we do need spaces where audiences who are not 18, who are under the age of 18, can also read things and not be exposed to content that might be too explicit. You can, I know everybody sees the world differently on that, but I can understand webtoons need to cover their own CYA, cover their own on that. I completely understand. I'm with them on that. So I've been just rambling. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. It's called Time for BL. Don't forget to listen to me on Spotify or on Anchor.fm. You can send me voice messages on Anchor.fm/timeforbl. So keep that in mind if you want to send me a voice message. Hey, maybe it's even a voice message I might put in an episode if you wanted to talk about something and give your point of view. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear some suggestions on some titles. I'm really excited about that because I would love to be exposed to something that maybe I don't know. But I'm not going to lie to you. I've probably seen it. I'm really bad. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. I'm JD Young, and thank you for making some time for BL. I love you, and I hope you have a good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're listening to this podcast. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.